This is Nancy. I'm joining you.
Hello, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is now 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. So I'll say welcome to the Lewes African American Heritage Commission meeting. Today is Thursday, August the 20th, 2020. It's now 6 o'clock. We will get ready to start our meeting and call to order, but first let us have do the Lord's Prayer. We would like to do it in unison, so we will, at this moment, do the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Thank you so much. And at this time, the meeting is called to order. And the first on order, I believe, is we have the announcements. And we'll turn it over to Ms. Trina Brown Hicks.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending. I'm not sure if Pastor Reverend McCafferty was able to join. I'm not sure if she's dialing in, or Bishop Jones. I haven't heard from them. I assume that they were dialing in. I'm not sure if they were having the same issue that Reverend Edwards was having. Anne-Marie, do you see anything, or can you tell?
I don't. I'm watching to make sure that I see them if they do come in.
Okay, and I was checking my cell phone for text, and I didn't see anything from either one of them at this point. So we'll just continue on, if that's okay. Reverend Edwards, would you like to go ahead do the item?
All right, so what we'll do then, next online is the presentation and possible action on the approval of the minutes. So this time we'll have the minutes by Ms. Trina Brown Hicks. The minutes, I believe, from July 16th, 2020.
I believe everyone should have received the minutes and had an opportunity to look them over. I did notice just a couple small corrections on the minutes. In the first paragraph, it mentions the commissioners and attendees for the July 16th meeting, and the one Bishop Arthur Jones, his name was in as Bishop Ralph Jones. It should be Arthur Jones, and he was not in attendance, but he was excused. So make that correction. And the other correction is very small. It was just that it mentioned that Ms. Greer Reynolds stated SDARG held a panel discussion. That should be SDARJ for Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice. So it's just a typo there on the minutes. And that was all I saw. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed anything else.
So if not, then we will have, get a motion on the accepting the minutes
So
So
move.
moved.
from the July 16th.
So moved.
So moved, so moved.
It's
It's been
Second.
motioned and moved. It's been seconded that we will accept the minutes with all corrections from our July 16th meeting, 2020. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. So the next in line is the volunteers, I believe. So I would turn it over to Ms. Trina Brown Hicks. She would let us know about the volunteers for the subcommittees. I think it's 2 committees we were looking at. She was giving some information on that.
Yes, I am so happy and proud to say that the community did come out to support and volunteer. It looks like we have approximately 20 volunteers for the 2 commissions, and I did receive those names, and some of them may be on the line at this point. But I will read the names of the members that volunteered. We have Miss Alicia Jones. We have Calvin Jackson. We have Carol, forgive me if I say the name wrong, Wuzarek. We have Miss Charlotte King. We have Eleanor Kiesel. We have Miss Hattie Bull. We have Mr. Joseph Lawson. We have Leslie Slan. We have forgive me, I could not remember Miss Alicia Jones's husband's name, so I have a Mr. Jones. But I know it's different than that. So forgive me, Miss Alicia. I have
It's Owen. His name is Owen.
okay. Owen is the first name or last name?
His first name.
His last name is Cheevers, Cheevers.
Thank you. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Of course, Miss Nancy Powell, Richard Moore, Robert Wingo says he's interested and would try to dial in today. Miss Ronisha Parker, Stephanie Colick, Susan Gokler, Susan Nogan, Thea Chandros, Zeta Dresner, and Don Peterson. And if all still are interested, that would make it 20 people. So that's very exciting, and I think there's probably enough work to go around to do, and I'm really happy if anybody wants to say anything about the volunteers that we.
I'd just like to say you got some wonderful people in there. Wonderful. That's so exciting.
Right. And Reverend Edwards, I know you mentioned that, and I'm not sure if it's capable, Miss Anne-Marie, I don't know if they have to raise their hand in order, but if anyone would like to, are we able to have the volunteers just raise their hand and give a little 30-second infomercial about themselves?
Yes, they can do
Is
that.
Well, we can.
Oh,
Yes, we can do that within 30 seconds. And the volunteers.
I'm trying to unmute Alicia again, and for some reason, I don't know why it doesn't want to. Oh, hold on, I got her unmuted. You can talk, Alicia.
Okay, my name's Alicia Jones. I consider myself a community activist. I know many of you on the panel, and I attend 3 churches so that I can get to know more people in the community. I'm a member of the Alliance, the Sunshine Circle Club. I belong to 2 book clubs, and I sometimes have my own projects, but they're all about revealing history in this town and the contributions that African Americans or Black people made to Lewes. So I'm really excited. I don't know a lot of the history myself. I know a lot about hearsay, but actual locations and stuff, I understand there are two commissions, so I'm curious about that, what the two commissions are, or if you've already decided what areas you're going to be focusing on. I'm finished. More than-
I'm certainly grateful that we have the volunteers, some 20 people that has accepted. And I guess the next on order, because from what we're doing now, I think we should accept them in. We can have the name of those that Ms. Trina Brown Hicks has called. We should be, as volunteers, the subcommittees, the two that we have, I think on the agenda show that for C1, it would be subcommittees would be served from 1800s, I believe, up to 1950. And another subcommittee would be from 1951 to the present time. So if we can get a motion that we will accept the volunteers that on the committees, then we look forward to getting information from Ms. Trina Brown Hicks about some rules and regulations that we have in order to let this go smooth as we serve. So if we can get a motion that we will accept the names of those that we will be able to get them to work.
I so move that we accept the 20 names that Trina just read off.
And I agree, 100%. Second. I didn't know if anyone else had raised their hands to give a little 30-second infomercial.
Yes, we've got a number of hands raised. I've now unmuted Eleanor. Eleanor, do you want to give an introduction?
Oh, hi. Did you say Eleanor Kiesel? I didn't hear you.
Yes, I did. I didn't say
Oh,
it last
okay.
name because I didn't want to say it wrong.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm a faculty member at Delaware State University, MSW Program Director and Department of Social Work. And I'm really excited about this opportunity and look forward to doing the work.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Wonderful.
Amber?
So my computer's not being all that cooperative. I just unmuted Rick Moore.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Rick Moore, I'm
Oops.
Did I lose him somehow?
am I back in?
Yeah,
You're
Yes.
in.
Okay. I briefly got rebooted there. Yeah, Rick Moore, I'm happy to join in whichever committee or committees you're enlisting me in. And many of you know me as someone who's locally outspoken. What you may not know is I actually have a family tie that goes way back in Lewes. They moved away, but named Lewes. A branch of my family were pig farmers in Lewes and then moved up to Philadelphia and then across to New Jersey, where as a kid, I knew them on their pig farm. So that's my Lewes connection that goes back to before I arrived here. So I look forward to finding out more history and joining with others.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Anyone else?
There are more. Yes, Stephanie Collick. I am unmuting as soon as my computer cooperates. There she is. Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie Collett, and I was born and raised in Lewes on Burton Avenue. I am a Cape and Open graduate, and I currently teach in the Cape District, and I'm excited about joining the group. Oh, and I also attend Friendship Baptist Church.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Hattie Bull is,
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Hattie Bull,
Good evening.
and I worked originally with the Reverend Edwards in the committee that worked on the street name change in Lewes to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Way. I did sign up for, at that time, the education part of this that when we were talking about the markers in Lewes, and I would like to continue that work. I also attend Friendship Baptist Church. Reverend George Edwards is my minister. I work with the Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice on the Education Committee, which I am a member of. I'm also a member of the Sunshine Circle Club, Women Involved in Community. I am a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Sussex County Alumni Chapter, and I work with the Community Minority Liaison Committee, which is in collaboration with the Cape and Lopin School District. And I am excited about this. I'm just interested as to what the two commissions are. One designated for education, because I know that's what I originally signed up for. I was going to work with the young man that runs the the Historical Society. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, Abbott. So I don't know. I just signed up. I don't know exactly what to do. As you can see, I'm a worker bee. I'm a community. I work in the community a lot. So
And Miss Hattie, didn't you teach in the Cape and Lopin School
Oh
District
yeah,
also?
I forgot about that. I
Yeah.
retired for something. I am a retired Thank you, Trina. I am a retired educator from the Cape and Lopin School District, where I taught for 29 years. And
Amen.
I think that's my 30 seconds, and that's all about me.
all right, so next is Renisha Parker.
Hi, my name is Renisha Parker, formerly Renisha Quinn. My ties to Lewes go back to the late 1800s. My family has been here since then. The park that everyone likes, the George H.P. Smith Park, is actually named after my cousin. I'm definitely looking forward to working with everyone. Thank you, Miss Trina, for inviting me to participate. I was raised in Lewes. I left as a teenager and moved to Ohio for 26 years, and I relocated back about 4 years ago. So I'm definitely looking forward to working with everyone.
Wonderful.
All right, we've got a few more.
I told you, Mr. Jones, Rachel stepped in and told you while I'm not working, stepped in and gave the last name. So here is,
I think someone needs to be muted. There you go.
Okay. I just lost. Okay, Zita,
Yes.
you're unmuted.
Okay. My name is Zita Dresner. I retired to Lewes about 12 years ago, and have been a member of the Alliance. I've also been I'm a retired attorney, and I've been volunteering at Community Legal Aid Society ever since I moved here. And I love doing research and want to know more about my community. So I'm really looking forward to having the opportunity to do so.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Okay, Calvin Jackson, you should be unmuted now.
Yep. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm Calvin Jackson. I relocated to Lewes about 3.5 years ago. I worked almost 35 years in the federal government and at the National Institutes of Health. Since I've moved here, I'm an active member of the Southern Delaware Alliance for Racial Justice. I'm the communications and, what am I, Trina? The communications and social media chair.
Do it all.
I'm also on the board for the Cape and Lopa Educational Foundation, a member of the Community Minority Liaison Committee, a member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, our chapters in Dover, and also a member of the Delaware Prostate Cancer Coalition. So I think I've worked with most of you. I know very well. I'm looking forward to working on this committee.
Thank you.
Charlotte should be unmuted now, hopefully.
All right, if that's it, we will.
No,
Wait,
no,
I think we have a couple more.
three more.
Oh, okay.
Charlotte was next.
Can you hear me?
Yep, yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, this is Charlotte King. Hi. I think I know most of you. I'm excited about the research. Thanks, Trina, for pulling all of us together. I'm on the board of the Lewes Historical Society, and I'm just learning how to go through their archives and do research. Right now, I'm working on a different research project, but I wouldn't mind putting that one aside and getting into your research, Trina. Look forward to it.
I know you're gonna die of course, you certain. Freedom from convention.
Susan should be unmuted now.
And refuse to believe.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here. My name is Susan Nogan. I am a recent transfer to Lewes, but we've been coming here for years and love the community. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about the history, particularly the aspects that have not been studied and publicized. I am still working. I am a researcher at the National Education Association. I've got a master's degree in history. I'm in the process of getting a second master's in labor studies and really enjoy research. I am looking forward to getting into the archives and learning everything I can and sharing it. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay, and Leslie Slan.
Hi, I'm Leslie Slan. I'm living full-time in the Rehoboth area for about 3.5 years now, although my husband and I and my family vacationed here for many, many years. My entire career was in education, from teacher to director to curriculum specialist, and I specialized in early childhood education, which is my love. And I got involved here. I was, I took the first group of Dialogue to Action. So Rachel was a facilitator with Calvin, and many in the group who volunteered were part of the Dialogue to Action too. And I wanted to get active in the community, and living in Delaware, being that it's a small state in Sussex County, I felt that I had a chance because I previously lived in the DC area. I'm active in Seaside Jewish community, particularly on the Multi-Faith Committee and the Community Service Committee. I'm also part of a sisters group, which are 2 Christian women, 2 Muslim women, and 2 Jewish women, and we meet monthly and developed a relationship with each other. I'm also on the advisory board of the Brian Allen Stevenson Charter School, which I'm very excited about. I'm a member of the Southern Delaware Alliance, and I'm also on the Peace Week Planning Committee. So I feel like this time in my life when I'm retired, I'd like to give back and be active in my community. And I'm looking forward to learning about the history of Lewes. And I was an advocate for the name change to Martin Luther King Way, and really advocate.
Was that at the all you had, Miss Anne Marie?
All right. Is that it?
I think so, Reverend. I think that we have a well-rounded group of subcommittee members, and I'm very excited to begin this journey.
Wonderful. And we look forward to working with the volunteers on these different committees that has been set up. If we can get a motion that we'll accept the names of those that has signed up to work on the two committees. Can we get a motion on that?
I'll give a motion. I so move that we accept all these wonderful volunteers for our two committees, one from 1800 to 1950 and the other 1951 to the present.
I second.
It has been motion and second that we will accept the names of those that has put their names in for to work as volunteers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. At this time, we will move on to the markers. I believe that if Ms. Trina Brown, can you give us any information if you have anything on the markers?
Yes, I will, but I just want to back up to the subcommittees. I know everyone is wondering, you know, what the subcommittees are going to do, what's involved in the subcommittees there. We are planning a strategy session, but before we even begin that, we are looking at, because there's some requirements of being part of a city commission and a city subcommittee commission. There's some requirements that we have to go through first, and we are planning for the subcommittee members to attend a sort of like a mini orientation to know the rules of basically the rules of the game, for lack of a better term, of being on the subcommittee, the subcommittees, and we are going to schedule that orientation with the subcommittee members. Hopefully everyone will be able to attend. If not, we will work with the subcommittee members on, basically it's the do's and don'ts, because being on a commission, I had to learn some of those things also. So, and we have to follow the Freedom of Information Act, and we have to make sure that our meetings are public and all of that. So you'll get that information during the mini orientation that we will schedule. And also I will send out the bylaws and the goals of the commission to the subcommittee members now that we have moved and accepted those members. Unfortunately, when I jumped the gun a little bit, and just for transparency purposes, I thought that I could, we could have a subcommittee meeting prior to this, but we wanted to do this in proper order. And so now that we have done that, we can move on and start to get our feet wet and begin to strategize on what we are going to move forward and prioritize. So those answers won't be today, but they will be after you go through the orientation.
Wonderful.
Okay. And to move on to the marker, Reverend Edwards, I did contact Miss Katie Hall concerning the marker to get some information about that. And that information also will be forwarded. There's a link of protocols which you have to go through for the state marker. So that also will be forwarded to the subcommittee members so they are aware. about that. And we did receive a recommendation. Well, let me just say that the marker can be a person, place, time period, an event, institutions, groups significant to local, regional, state, or have national relevance to Delaware. And there was a recommendation that had been made that that our state markers celebrate a person, and the time period of that person would fall in the era of 1951 to the present. And it was a recommendation for our first and only African-American mayor. Some of you may know him, most of you will. Mr. George H.P. Smith, who we have a park named after. And one of the other recommendations was that the marker maybe could go into the park that carries his name. The information is readily available. His spouse is still living for information, and his family is still in the area, and many of us know him. So that was a recommendation that that we, can consider as far as the marker, along with any other recommendation. But I just wanted to mention that. So that's all I have on the marker, and we'll have more information on that as we go forward.
Thank you. So we'll move on to the public comments and questions. If anyone would like to, if you have a comment you would like to make on, and a question you'd like to ask at this time. Any comments?
Yes, I'm trying to raise my hand, Reverend Edwards.
All
You
right.
can't see me, but I'm smiling at you. But
Wonderful.
my comment is that when we have the subcommittee meeting, many of the names we mentioned, I recognize, but there are people who are signed up as volunteers. So when we have that meeting, Tina, will it be possible for us to see each other and in a Zoom or webinar setting, so we can, have a more personal relationship than just oral, that we can have visual.
Great.
Hopefully we
Great.
can, yes.
I think we can do that. I just wasn't sure. It was just a little difficult at this time for all of that. I think Miss Anne Marie can speak to that. Miss Anne Marie, can you?
So for the subcommittee meetings, anybody who's on the subcommittee will be visible on the screen. The reason that we only have the members on the screen and unmuted is because that otherwise, if you end up with 30, 40 people at a meeting, and I mean, we've had up to 100 before. If you don't, keep it, it's kind of like the people on the screen are the table. It helps. So if people raise their hand, they can be recognized. But when you do come to the subcommittee meetings, you're on the subcommittee, so you will be on the screen. Does that help? And then Charlotte also has her hand up. She's unmuted.
Trina, you mentioned a marker. I thought there were going to be markers all over town.
Yeah,
Did I miss something in a previous meeting? And I had a second question. I know the Historical Society is planning a walking tour. Are the subcommittees or is the commission going to be part of the planning of that tour?
We are planning that. We are the commission and the subcommittee will be part of planning that tour. And to go back to the markers, what I found out about the marker is that with the state markers, and then you can have the city come up with their markers per se. But with the state markers, only one marker is allowed per organization.
I thought
One
we were
marker.
going to. I thought we were going to mark places of significance. And I know in Wilmington and other cities there are markers along a tour. As a matter of fact.
Yes,
Mark
but
many
yes,
streets.
that is still the plan. But we're talking about a state marker versus any other type of marker. So with this official state marker, only one marker is allowed per organization. But with the other types of markers, maybe, you know, that we're talking about for the city, for the tour, that is open. So you understand what I'm saying? A state marker, the one marker that's allocated from the state per organization. Now, what I did find out is that how others have many markers is that other people sponsor the markers. So maybe Southern Delaware would like to have another state marker for a big significant person, place, or event, or what have you. And then maybe another commission would like a state marker, but we as Lewes African American Heritage Commission can only sponsor one state marker, but the other markers that maybe we have for the town and for the walking tour, that's unlimited. That's whatever we decide that we want to do and how we want to do it.
Okay.
So we are able to do that, you know, of course, with the backing of the city.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. I hope that answered it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got a good education about state markers, so that was really enlightening. I thought that was unlimited. You can do as many as you want, but that's not so.
I found my book, so I canceled it. So just cut the chicken and.
Miss Alicia, we hear you talking about your chicken.
So Hattie also has her hand up. So did Hattie have a comment?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
So the state marker will be for Mr. Smith.
That is on the table.
Okay.
That is not. Yes, that is on the table. That's just what one of the recommendations was, but we have not actually made that decision.
So if we want to put up other markers in the city of Lewes, the city of Lewes can approve that.
That's what we anticipate, that the city would be able to sponsor other markers around the city, and for different significant person, place, things, events of that nature.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna use as an example. The field that was so significant to the city of Lewes, you know what I mean, the big field where we used to go and play ball and all those things.
Yeah.
Now, that was a significant marker in Lewes. And me personally, I feel that Mr. Smith a marker for him will be more significant than that field. That's just me. But in the event that a marker would go there, you're saying an organization would have to sponsor that marker?
If you want it to be a state marker. You get it? There's differences between a state marker. They have to go through this General Assembly for those state markers.
State mark. Well,
but
see,
for
any. What I'm looking at is just marking the locations. The question, mine is about just marking the significant locations in Lewes of African Americans. It doesn't, you know, I could see going through for Mr. Smith, because he was the first Black mayor of Lewes. And that being a state marker, but
Right.
all the other locations, which would become part of the walking tour, can be represented through Lewes.
right now?
Right? That's what
Absolutely. I
you
heard
said?
some,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine.
Okay.
I hear some
All right, I
talk in the
appreciate it.
background, so I'm getting to, but yes,
Okay, I
you're
can't
correct.
open up the one.
Those other markers would
Yeah, I'm sure
become
about that. Thank you.
part of the walking tour and
Right. And
have
they
a
could,
great significance also.
right. And they will come through the approval of the commission through the state, through the city of Lewes. Yeah, I just wanted to
Right. So
understand what was going, yeah. Because as you
yeah,
know, there are a
so
lot
the
of locations around
right
Lewes that are very significant to
locations,
Right.
all businesses,
Right.
what have you.
Yes.
And so what we anticipate is that the subcommittees would break down to those time periods, and we will have a strategy session to strategize of what the subcommittees would want to prioritize first.
As far as the markers.
Yes.
As far as the markers. Okay. Now, one other question. Have all of the signs been, I haven't been in Lewes for a minute, but all of the signs have been put up for the honorific names for the
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm going
Yes.
back on mute. Thank you.
Okay.
Question?
Yes.
My question actually relates somewhat to the last bit of discussion, but it's on what relationship we have to, in a formal sense, to Lewes Historical Society, Delaware Historical Society, and other entities, which can include various organizations, churches, etc., that have an interest and may be doing some work on the history. Because it seems to me that if we, as a commission, are able to coordinate with them, then as we develop a list of potential markers, it would be possible to kind of assign to the different organizations the ability to then make specific requests. And I would also just note, because we have two subcommittees with two different time periods, if we only have one marker for the organization, then we need to find at least one other ally, because I suspect, well, for instance, I think we need something besides the maritime history tour with half a marker to represent, just for starters, Cato and Peter Lewis. And I think there are going to be some other figures as well, meriting markers. But if we also get information on the different kinds of markers which other organizations may already put up, then we could figure out as well how to coordinate so that we don't end up with unnecessary overlap, redundancy, and confusion.
And Moore, you're absolutely right in that area, and that's what part of the strategic planning and the strategy sessions will be beyond this meeting when the subcommittees break down.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, you're muted.
Miss Rachel, you're on mute.
Thank you. There's also, you know, our possibility of being part of a walking path, and what kind of signage that would entail. Would, you know, we would be doing with the Lewes Historical Society. So, you know, there's a lot that we could get done. You're not talking about just doing one thing. You're talking about doing a lot of things. So.
Right, and I know the city probably has a committee on signs already, so we would have to coordinate probably with other entities within the city as well.
Hi, can you hear me, Trina?
Yeah. Yes.
Isn't Mr. Abbott on your commission? And I thought that
He is.
was one of the purposes for being on the commission, to make sure that we are coordinating with the Lewes Historical Society.
He is, and we are, and we will.
Okay, since I have your attention, let me ask another question. Because right now, they've got me studying the mayors, so I'm just looking into Mayor Smith now. There is no sign in that park, because the photographs that I'm looking at in the archives, there are very identifiable signs saying this park is dedicated to Mr. Mayor Smith and who he was and what his birth date is. And there may be another sign elsewhere in town. So we might not look at that before we designate another
Right,
sign.
and again, that's what the subcommittees will be doing, and making recommendations to the larger commission.
Okay.
Any other questions,
I
comments?
just wanted to say thank you to Trina for putting all this together. This is exciting. It really is. Thank you.
You're welcome. It takes all of us. So not just me.
Have you looked at the comments in the chat?
I have not seen, I don't see anything.
Okay, there were some things in the chat, but I think that you have mostly addressed them, the city versus state marker and the Lewes Historical Society. So I think you've addressed it all.
Okay. And again, all of this will break down, I'm sure, in the subcommittee meetings and strategy sessions.
All right.
Trina, can someone, are you hearing me? I heard,
Yes.
and I don't know whether it's true, that someone told me that the cost, you can actually buy a state marker for $3,500. Have you known that to be true, or is that just?
I'm not aware of that. I don't know that to be true. I do know that the ones that the General Assembly puts in their budget, I was told were $2,300.
Okay, all right.
Anything else? I think we've accomplished a lot this evening in this meeting. So what we will do, you will be getting information on and contacting the subcommittees on a time and a date for that we can meet together and do some strategizing. So we'd like to schedule our next meeting, and hopefully we don't know the future, but hopefully we'll soon be able to, come together at the meeting other than on, like we're doing online. We'll be able to come together maybe at City Hall or somewhere once this is lifted. But I think we're doing a great job in keeping in touch and contacting people that we need to contact, and those that are working faithfully trying to keep this going and getting the information that we need. So can we set up a schedule for the next meeting?
Yes, our regular meetings are always the third Thursday of the month at 6 o'clock. All of that information also, when I send out the bylaws, and will also be included in that. But we will need to coordinate to try to set up the mini orientation and so that everyone can know the do's and don'ts. And so we will do that, I anticipate, prior to the regular meeting. And I will see what scheduling is best for everyone. So I'll send out some type of, if I may, or Miss Anne Marie may have to do it because of some of the rules and regulations of that. I don't want to break anything as far as that is concerned. And you'll understand what I'm saying when we start talking about that in the mini orientation. But you'll get some information prior to the regular meeting. But I hope that you all have some food for thought right now. You'll get some more food to eat soon. And I'll try to send that out by Sunday, some of the information about the markers, the bylaws, and the goals of the committee. And then we'll coordinate a date for the mini orientation.
Any other questions?
I just have a little question, Trina. Am I correct in that only 2 commissioners can be on each subcommittee? That there can't be more than 2 of us? Is that correct or not?
It depends on, I believe, whether we have voting capability or not. Mr. Morgan, can you speak to that a little bit? You're on mute. Take yourself off of mute.
Got it. The commission, your commission has 7 voting members, I think. And that means that a quorum is 4. So you can have anything less than a quorum, up to 3 of your voting members meeting outside the committee. That could be on a subcommittee.
Thank you.
You will want at least one of your commission members, I think, to be on each subcommittee.
Yes. And again, that will be discussed also during the mini orientation.
Any other questions? All right, so I would like to thank all of you that joined in this evening, and I think we've accomplished a lot. And we get ready to adjourn the meeting if our minds are clear. So we will consider the meeting as being adjourned. Good. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did we make a motion second?
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Okay, it's been motion and second that the meeting will be adjourned. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night,
Thank you, everyone.